Hey everyone, my name is Adam Holzer, founder and master connector of Connections for Hire. We're here today on Kolka Interactive with our show Game Changers. Game Changers is a show where we specialize and highlight business owners that have made a change in the game of their world. On today's show, we have Steve Ramerini, founder and chief visionary of Compel CEOs. Let's get the show on the road. Steve, welcome to Game Changers. I really appreciate you being here today.
It's great to be here, Adam. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. So, as my guest on Game Changers, the reason why I invited you here today is because you're making a real splash in the world of peer advisory mentoring for business owners and CEOs. I was hoping you can tell us a little bit about that today.
Sure, it'd be my pleasure. So we started Compel about 7 years ago, although I've been doing this work for about 20 years now. And we have three deliverables, if you will. We provide board meetings to business owners on a monthly basis that hold them accountable for their actions, for what they want to do with their companies and with their life. We bring in content from all over the world, really, to deliver workshops on relevant business topics. And then finally, we offer one-on-ones, which become coaching, mentoring, advising. Basically, we become their consigliere, if you will.
That's great. Well, you're definitely a game changer in that world, Steve. And I wanted to ask, so I've always said our reputation is our net worth. And after getting to know you and learning about your reputation, you have one of the best net worths I've ever heard before in my life. Tell us a little bit about how you've built up such a great reputation.
Thank you for that compliment. I appreciate it. I think it started way back when with my first job, which instilled in me hard work, and also from my mom and my uncle, my family. Hard work and be diligent and care about what you do. And I try to bring that to all of the interactions I have, whether it was in my previous career or now with Compel CEOs. Take a real interest and put the time and effort in with your clients, with your members, whoever it may be that you're interacting with. And then from there, get to know them. Take a real interest in them and be genuine and care.
That's great. And I know you've accomplished a lot. This is going to be your this is your 8th year of Compel, and congratulations on 8 years. And can you tell us a little bit about the business journey of Steve Ramerini before pre-Compel, I want to say?
Sure. So I basically became a full-time worker my second semester in college, and I wound up running a small business of about 15 employees. In today's world would be about a $10 million company. And I was barely 19 years old, 18 years old. And I wanted to stick with that, but my mom, God bless her, said, no, you're going to graduate on time. And so when I graduated, I was challenged with, okay, what am I going to do? I went from running a business, now I have to be an employee. So I got a job as a trainee in a bank training program. And I came out of that and entered the world of corporate and commercial lending, which I was in for about 17 years. And got tired of being acquired by other banks. And so I started doing a little consulting work, and that led to a contract with a major accounting firm to do marketing as well as consulting. I was managing the consulting practice and whatnot. And when that contract ended, the opportunity to run peer-to-peer advisory groups appeared. And so I went into it full steam ahead. And I worked for another entity for about 14 years, and had the opportunity to go on my own and make a difference the way I wanted to make a difference, and deliver programs the way I thought they should have been delivered, or address the needs of the clients better. And so that's what we did, and we started Compel. So I've actually been doing this work for 20 years. This is my 21st year, and Compel for about 8 now.
Wow. And what I want the audience to know is you've been a celebrity in my world from the business community for probably about 5 years now, since I first really heard of the Compel brand. And it was funny because when I first heard of Compel, I was like, something like this exists? And I would love for you to tell the audience today, what is Compel CEOs?
Sure. So we are a high-level mastermind think tank for business owners, their sons and daughters, and senior executives. And what we do is we hold monthly board meetings that run at least half a day. As the companies get larger and the gravitas of the business owner expands and they spend more and more of their time focused on strategic rather than tactical, they go to full-day meetings. And we cover not just content from world-class speakers and published authors that we bring in to do workshops, but we work on their businesses, their opportunities, their challenges, whatever it is that they might be facing. And the collective wisdom, knowledge, experience in the room helps to produce better results and better answers to their questions.
So, Steve, one of the fun things I love about being a business owner and an entrepreneur is I have the creativity to do whatever I want to do with my business. And one of the things that we have at Connections for Hire is cool titles. So, for example, I'm the founder and master connector. I hear at Compel CEOs, you're the chief visionary officer. What does that mean?
So I'm still trying to figure that out. It's actually a product of our marketing people. I was happy with president, founder, you know, the traditional titles because I grew up in the corporate world. But they said, no, you want something that's going to intrigue people and pique their interest and get them to ask you, well, what does that mean? Just like you did now. So the way I view it is, I have to look down the road and I have to see where we're going with this model that we have, because it's been around for 62 years. It was the first company that was started in this field, in modern day anyway, was started the year I was born. But it goes way, way back to Ben Franklin when he used to get together with a bunch of his buddies in the tavern at the end of the day or at the end of the week to discuss business. So my job is to make sure that we're continuing to be relevant, that we're delivering what the CEOs and the business owners need to help them advance their businesses and their personal success. And also what's coming down the road, what type of meetings, what type of board groups young entrepreneurs are going to want to join. Plus, keep everybody happy in between.
Well, it sounds like the chief visionary has a lot of responsibilities and wears a lot of hats.
Yes.
Well, what was the catalyst to start this journey of Compel CEOs?
Well, the company I was working for was purchased by effectively a PE firm. And not that there's anything wrong with PE firm ownership, but they focus more on the profit line than on, you know, why are we in business? What are we doing? And after about 13 years, it had begun to lose its way a little bit. And I had also seen in the marketplace that business owners wanted more flexibility. They wanted to be more in control of what they were being a part of. So instead of selling them McDonald's, I said, okay, you know what? We're going to sell them custom. And so Compel offers them an opportunity for more flexibility, more creativity, and customize what they want out of our program. So that was the main catalyst for it. It's worked out well so far.
And I have to ask, coming from a corporate background and especially, you know, respecting one entrepreneur to another, I have to ask you, why the entrepreneur jump from a corporate start?
So I was in banking, and the 2 or 3 banks that I had worked for towards the end of my banking career had all been acquired. And in the last instance, we were a much larger bank in this marketplace than the bank that acquired us. And I didn't want to hear how great they were and how bad we were. So I got tired of that, and I decided I'm going to try something on my own. And so I started a little consulting practice, and then I got a contract with a major accounting firm to be their director of marketing and also the director of their consulting practice. And when the contract was up, they decided that consulting was selling software, and so that wasn't what I wanted to do. And I went back off on my own, but at the same time, the opportunity to run a peer advisory group came up, and I ran with it. And at that point in time, I took over a board that had 4 people, and now I run 2 boards that total 40 people, and we have 70 plus members in 5 different groups.
Wow.
And obviously, I don't run all the groups anymore.
So a question that I love to ask is, what is your why? And I would love to hear what your why of what you do is.
So I really get juiced by helping people and seeing them succeed. And so through the years, I've heard any number of presentations, and there was one that stuck out with me. And his premise in life is that there is nothing in the world that will not be solved or cured by more prosperity and more abundance. And what I added to that is charity. So I look at trying to help people attain more abundance, more prosperity, and direct them to be more charitable. And that's the why.
It's a really great why. And leading to that next question is, what is your favorite part of Compel CEOs?
It's when my members introduce me as their best friend advisor. The closeness I have with some of these members, it is amazing. I try not to think about it too often, but I've really been blessed by it. And that's the best part of it, is knowing that I've made an impact, not only on their lives, but their families' lives and their employees' lives.
Well, I'm hoping in the filming of this we can get a drum roll for this next part, because I've been told that you've assisted in some of your members selling their businesses with an added up value of over $500 million, and that's billion with a B. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. What happens along the way is we all age. And at some point in time, we either decide we want to do something different, or someone comes along and makes us an offer that we cannot refuse. Selling a business is not something you wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to do now. It takes time, it takes planning. Some people start with that end in mind. And I think the greatest example we have of that today is Tesla. Elon Musk wanted to change the world. He didn't start Tesla until he had started another company and sold it that was providing internet services. So I get to know the members. I work with them very closely, and we work on where do you want to be when you decide you don't want to do this any longer. And so I become their most trusted advisor in many cases, and most of those transactions occurred without the assistance of an investment banker. It was primarily a team assembled by myself and the member, or the client, if you will, with their attorney, maybe their accountant, maybe their investment advisor. And in the long run, they saved a tremendous amount of money, but they also achieved a great end result.
Well, it's accurate for me to say, because you mentioned it before, you've had members that have been with you for over 18 years.
I have some that have been with me for 20 years since I started, or slightly right after I started. Probably half of the members in my groups that I run have been with me around 15 or more years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, love this part of your journey. In April of 2019, you brought on your daughter, Jamie, who, I don't know her cool creative title just yet, but I have to ask you, what's it like having a second generation family-owned business right now?
So it didn't dawn on me until recently when someone said, so you officially have a family business. And I was like, wow. I have to tell you, I don't know if I'd be able to express the amount of pride that I have in this. Early on, we had a contract, and I said, no matter what happens at the end of the day, we're still going to be father and daughter. And it's a lot of fun. We have our challenges, and she probably has a lot of commentary around that. But overall, it's one of the best things I think I've ever done. And as I said, it's a tremendous amount of pride and comfort in knowing that someone that close has your back and is as enthusiastic about this as I've always been. So it's a wonderful experience, and I'm going to ask her to come up with a creative title for what she does, because I just told her she's director of operations.
My last question for you is no other than, who is a good fit for Compel CEOs, because this is your opportunity to give Compel a plug right now.
Great, well, thank you for that. So we have business owners who are one-person shops, so solopreneurs, all the way up to the largest company we had in the group was about $1.5 billion and 1,500 employees when he sold the company. So really, we have programs that are designed for CEOs at different stages of the development of themselves as well as their companies. Really, the best fit is a business owner who understands that they need to continue to learn, to continue to sharpen the saw, and are willing to put the time in to do that. And that's a good match for us. If someone thinks that they created business, they're probably not a good fit for us, because there's going to be 12 to 20 other people in the room who have just as big an ego as they do. You got to be willing to do the work, and you got to be willing to admit that, yes, I need to work on making my business better and getting to where I want to be in the long run.
Thank you very much for that, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for tuning in to Game Changers here at Kolka Interactive. My name is Adam Holzer, founder of Connections for Hire. Look forward to seeing you in our next episode.